Hello friends and welcome back. I took a little bit of a break, but I'm back. If you've never been here before, I'm Chantel and I blog over at Intentional Homeschooling / am mostly here on YouTube these days and a little bit on Instagram sometimes. And I have a daughter who is going, I guess is in 6th grade this year, and a son who is in 3rd grade. I gotta get used to those new numbers, and then a couple littles as well. And here on the channel, I share a lot about our homeschool journey and a lot of books. I have a booktube channel all for books for myself, and then I also have this channel where I share a lot of books that my kids are reading and that we're reading together. And today I'm doing like a double whammy as far as this video goes. I'm going to be sharing a homeschool resource haul with a few different resources that we have like added into our homeschool lately. And then I also have a fairly small for me library haul. It's still pretty decent size, and I'm actually planning on going to the library tomorrow, so I'm going to get a whole bunch more books tomorrow, so there probably will be another library haul coming in the not too distant future. So let's just jump in. I wanted to start with the homeschool resources to kick things off here. So we are doing something new this year, and we subscribe to Kiwi Crate for our kids. This is not the first time that we have had a crate from them. They years ago asked to send one to me for free for a review for my blog, and we did that and enjoyed it, but we didn't actually continue or start a subscription. This time we did. We decided to go for a doodle crate for the 6th grader, and then we are doing a tinker crate for my 3rd grader. So my daughter, she got the faux leather, I can't remember the full title, portfolio pouch something or other this time around, and it ended up being this beautiful pouch, and then it came with a sketchbook, but she has a different book in here, but the sketchbook fits in perfectly, and it has a little elastic clasp. We worked on kind of doing this together a little bit. I just sat down just to make sure she was, you know, doing the steps right, because she likes to be a bit of a perfectionist, maybe like her mother in some ways, and this was easy to put together. It was just some hand sewing and then putting on of the brads to decorate the portfolio, and this is going to be a very useful, this project will end up being something that she actually uses, I guess. It's a very useful thing for her. I have a feeling on our journey with the Kiwi crates, there will be some months that will be better than others, but this one was a definite hit for her. I asked her how much she rated it, and I don't remember her score, but it was at least 9 or 10 out of 10. She really enjoyed this one. And then for my son's tinker crate, it was, we actually get to see what it is before it gets shipped to us, and I can't remember the full name once again, but pretty much it's a paint thingy. Wow, I'm good at this. So you get to put together this little machine, which was the part that you couldn't necessarily see from the picture, but that's the part that he loves. And it ends up spinning, and you can put paint on, and it kind of creates this cool design. And he gave his an 8 out of 10. He loved putting together, like doing the wires, and my husband helped him with it. So I don't even know all the correct terminology, but that was completely up his alley. Maybe like the finished product, you know, he doesn't necessarily like to create things with paint, but all he had to do was drip stuff on and adjust the speed, so that part was totally up his alley. And yeah, so he gave his an 8 out of 10, and we went with the 1-year subscription, so it's a little bit cheaper, and because we're in Canada we do have to pay like pretty hefty price for the shipping, but I think it will be worth it. It's kind of something that kind of pushes us out of our regular comfort zone. It gives us a project that we can do, and it comes with all the supplies. I think my daughter needed scissors, and I don't even know if my son needed anything. So everything comes in the box, and often, like with my son's project, they actually used the box to create the design, so like there's pretty much no waste. For my daughter's, you didn't use the box, but she likes to collect all sorts of things, so she will make use of the box elsewhere for sure. So that was one of our homeschool resources, and then the rest are pretty much just a bunch of books. So I got a couple of books. Over on my booktube channel I recently shared a little free library tour. I went around to a bunch of little free libraries around us, and I got a couple for the kids. The first one here is Knight's Castle. I can't remember what number this is, but this is in the Edgar Eger's Half Magic series. So this is one of the books in the series. I got an Encyclopedia Brown book for my son because Encyclopedia Brown is like one of the series that I want him to be working on this year. And then I got the Borrowers. Where did I get this one? Did I get this one? I can't remember if I got this one from the Little Free Library or somewhere else along the way. Oh, it was a different Little Free Library. Not that specific tour, but a different time I stopped at one. I've never read the Borrowers. And I think they're kind of like the Littles. So we got that book. And then I got I got a few books here from Book Outlet. So I've talked about them before. It's pretty much a cheap place to buy books. Most of the books that I buy from there are about 1/3 of the regular price. So often they're either overstocked books or books people have returned. Usually they're in perfect condition. Sometimes they have like a little black mark on them to show. Yeah, and then no, none of mine do. Okay, well, usually there's a little black mark on it. And none of the ones I bought from there this time have that. So sometimes it'll just have like a little black marker on there, that's it. Yeah, so I got a few different books here. I got this one, Sweep, The Story of a Girl and Her Monster. We read this one sometime last year as a read aloud, and the entire family loved it. And this book just makes me tear up. It's a fantasy story about a chimney sweep and this little monster creature that she has. But it's an interesting look into the lives of chimney sweeps, and yeah, so like I said, it's kind of like a silly fantasy story in some ways, but then it just like had me tearing up. So yeah, we really enjoyed this one, and I'm excited to have it on our shelves. Then I got a book that I have been eyeing up for a long time. This is How Great Is Our God? 100 Indescribable Devotions About God and Science. So this is by Louis Giglio, and I've been curious about this little devotional book for quite some time. We don't really do like a devotional book kind of thing in our family, but this one is supposed to have like some, I think, science experiments, or just uses science to explain different things. And if you've watched like Louis Giglio's How Great Is Our God, I think that's what it's called, series, oh, his Indescribable series or whatever it is, it's amazing. And so I think this will be an interesting one to try out. I've heard good things from people before. And then I was really excited to find this book on Book Outlet. It couldn't just happen. This is one of the books that I want to be using for my daughter for grade 6. I recently got it from the library and wanted her to use it and was planning on just like renewing it constantly, and then I saw that it was on there, so I quickly snatched this up. It's Knowing the Truth About God's Awesome Creation, and it has 20 chapters about the earth and the science behind things and how the earth was created, and I think my daughter's going to really like doing this book this year. And then this last one is, I'm putting it in this homeschool resource haul, but it's actually for me. One of my thoughts and goals for this year is for us to do audiobooks together, me and the older kids, and then just like sit down and do something with our hands while we're doing that. And I got this off of Book Outlet. This is Brilliant Beasts, and it's like adult coloring book, and it's all just different kinds of animals. And I have had an adult coloring book in the past and finished like all my favorite pages, so I wanted a new one, and I was excited to find this and add that to my collection. Then the last bit of our homeschool resource haul came from the Daily Grace Co. I recently put in an order there, and so I got a couple things for myself and then a few things for the kids. So I got The Character of God. This is a study of who God is, and it's I think it has about 15 different attributes of God, and then it has something for the kids to read and something for them to fill out. So day 1 is God is holy, so you read that and answer the questions. Day 2 is continuing God is holy, and then it goes into God is true. And so I thought this would be a really good thing for my 6th grader to do this year. And then I got 3 like picture books. The People of God, and this is God's plan for his church, and it just kind of breaks down kind of what the church is supposed to be like. And then I got Created with Emotions, and this talks about emotions, obviously. And Amen, the story of the Bible from Eden to Eternity. And I did share a full Daily Grace Co. haul on my personal channel, so I'll leave that linked if you want to see into these a little bit more. So that's a look into some new resources that we've added to our homeschool. Often when I do a resource haul, sometimes I'll get a comment from people being like, oh, I don't know how you afford to homeschool, you need so much money for it. And you really don't. I'm going to share a library haul. A lot of what I just shared we could have gotten from the library, or you know, you can print off free things. I just really like books, and so I like to have a nice big homeschool library here available for us, but you can also get a lot of this for free. So let's move on to the library haul here. This first book was recommended to me by Abby. She shared this with me. It's called Little Acorn, and it's Discover an Amazing Story from the Natural World. And it's a cute little story about an acorn. Yeah, I'm so excited that she sent this to me and shared this with me because I would never have heard about it otherwise. And this might actually be a series. They're nature stories. I should look this one up. And then we got Hello Lighthouse. I think one of you recommended this one to me. I can't exactly remember why I took it out, but I think that's why. And from what I remember, we've had this book out before. It's a cute little story about a lighthouse worker, and yeah, so we got this one out. And then we've also got Jonathan Bean's At Night. We actually have a few of his books here on this stack. He was homeschooled as an adult and like writes books about that often, and this one is just a short little story about wanting to spend the night outdoors, I guess. And then this one I got out because I had been looking at the Ambleside online curriculum for maybe incorporating some of that for my 6th grader, and so I got What the World Eats, and this is a really cool look at what people eat around the world. This is actually a series. There's also looks inside like everything that they own in their house, but this takes you all over the world to Ecuador and France and Great Britain and Guatemala and India and Turkey and the United States and Poland and Mongolia and on and on. And it has a picture of all the food that these people from this place, whichever place it is, all the food that they have in their kitchen. It breaks it down to like how much that cost. And this book is a bit dated now. The pictures were taken quite a few years ago, and like some of the money stuff is outdated, but it's still a fascinating look into how different people eat throughout the world and how much money they spend on their food and how much fruit a lot of like fresh fruit and vegetables a lot of people eat. And yeah, that was fascinating. Okay, we got a bunch of picture books that I'm not going to spend a whole lot of time talking about, but I asked for some recommendations and you guys gave me a bunch. Bidet, The Crayons Quit. This is a fun one that we've had out before. We really enjoyed that one, so I was like, oh yeah, let's get that one again. This was one of my absolute favorites. I had a blog post. Every year I do a blog post of the favorite picture books that were published in that year that we read. And whatever year this was published in, let's see, 2016, I'm pretty sure this made my list. This is Nobody Likes a Goblin. This book is hilarious. We loved this one. Oh, this one is really good. This is The Hike, and this is really good for if you are going to be doing nature hikes or nature journaling with your kids. It's about some kids that go on hikes, and then it shows a little bit of their nature journaling. I really enjoyed this one. And then when I was asking for recommendations for the preschooler, we've had this one out before, but someone else recommended it again. Rhyming Dust Bunnies. This one is hilarious and has a great little rhyme. Then we got Gorgonzola, a very stinky source. So there's that one. Oh, I got this book out. This is Different, A Great Thing to Be. This is by Heather Avis, and I recently read / started her book Scoot Over and Make Some Room. Talks about their adoption of 3 different kiddos, 2 of which have Down syndrome, and I think this is based off of her daughter. I got that one. Then we've got The Very Hungry Bear, which is, I think, a sequel to The Very Cranky Bear. We read that one recently, so we got this one out. A Scaredy Squirrel Goes Camping, because my kids love Scaredy Squirrel, and we own a couple of them, but not the camping one. This one was a favorite. This one definitely made the favorites list. I think maybe 2016 as well. Shh, We Have a Plan. This is hilarious. A hilarious little story about these people that have this little plan, and it doesn't go so well. Then back to Jonathan Bean. This is my home, this is my school. So this is his story about being homeschooled and how his home is also his school. We really like this one. It's hard to find books that showcase homeschoolers, so when we can find some, we get this one out from the library fairly frequently. Maybe we should have bought this one already. And then also Jonathan Bean, he like writes a lot about his own childhood and stuff. So this is the story Building Our House. This is when his family built their own home. And then a couple of these I couldn't remember if I had shared in previous library hauls or not. I have this tendency, and let me know if you guys are like this, I generally go to the library once a week, get out, you know, like 20 to 30 books or something like that, more if I forgot to go the week before. But then I don't return books every single week. Usually we keep those ones for like 3 weeks or 4 weeks and then return a bunch. But anyway, so they kind of get mixed up when it comes to sharing a library haul. I'm not sharing all the library books that we have out at the moment because we still have tons of library books out from the last haul that I shared. So anyway, I don't think I shared these 3, but I might have. Apologies if there's some overlap. So this one is Atlas Obscura, the Atlas Obscura Explorer's Guide for the World's Most Adventurous Kid. 47 countries, 100 extraordinary places to visit. And it just has a little adventure plan, which is the table of contents, and it breaks down different countries and gives some information about them. I love geography. It was never anything that was taught to me in school, and I love learning about it now, and I love books that kind of like showcase geography. Okay, and then we're gonna kind of stick on the geography topic. This one's Hello World. This is very like Richard Scarry-esque as far as books go. It's a bit of a story. It's got like cute illustrations, and the creatures and everything just remind me so much of Richard Scarry. This page has a bird search. So there's different things to like find throughout and a little bit of a story to go along with it. And I'm curious to know if this one is a series at all, because we would... Oh, it says coming soon, Sun and Moon take turns. So maybe this is a series. I'll have to look into that because this one's a fun little book. And then the last one, this is the one that I'm like, I might have shared this one before. This is Hello Atlas. And it just shows you different places around the world, different languages, different ways to say hello. So it tells you like, in the language, it tells you the language, and here's what they say in that language, and then the translation. So this is kind of fun, except that a lot of these I don't know how to pronounce what it is that they're saying. So it'd be nice if there was like some like pronunciation guide to go along with it, but it's kind of cool to see a word that we say in English that's maybe like 5 characters long is like 13 characters long in a different language or something like that, just to see the differences. Every language is so unique, and every place in the world is so unique. So there you have it. There is my part resource haul, part library haul, another library haul I'm sure to come soon after I return some of these. I just have like a stack over here that I need to return. Let me know if there are any good books that you've been getting out from the library lately, or good resources you've been adding into your homeschool that I should take a look at. And thanks again for watching, guys.